Today on People Now, the biggest revelations from that bombshell interview with Teresa and Giudice. Are they headed for divorce? Sarah Hyland Wells Adams throw an epic engagement party, and we have the pics. Ellen DeGeneres and Jennifer Aniston share a smooch. Find out what's going on. American Idol winner Maddie Poppy is here live talking about her new music, her tour with Ingrid Michaelson, and if her boyfriend is the one. Plus, we have dogs in the studio to brighten up your Monday. It's a Halloween costume fashion show you don't want to miss. It's all live today on People Now. Let's go.
Hey, happy Monday, everyone. Welcome to People Now. Great to see you. How are we feeling?
Good. I had a good weekend. Nice fall weather.
It is perfect weather, isn't it?
Yeah.
And Halloween coming up. I mean, I'm pumped.
Yeah. Did you do anything on the
Well, I was in Philly over the weekend, so we didn't really do.
All about the weekend before.
No, I know. I mean, it was fun to be in Philadelphia. It's like historical city, so there are graveyards, like cemeteries everywhere. Yeah. So there was like a creepy fall vibe there. I count that as partaking in Halloween.
You know what? I'll count it too.
All right, we're kicking off the week on a sweet note here. It's National Chocolate Day, everybody. Fitting that this is coming obviously close to Halloween, really getting us ready for all the candy. Holiday has caused some debate in our office here over what kind of chocolate is the best. Yes. It's heated.
So we need to know, are you a fan of the rich or dark chocolate? Maybe you enjoy the classic milk chocolate flavor, or you might love white chocolate. Vote in our People poll and send us your thoughts using the hashtag PeopleNow. Dark chocolate.
We've talked about dark having like health benefits.
Yes.
I like the milk chocolate. We'll talk more about it later. Let us know if you'd like to know more of our opinions about random things. We'll check in on that. But for now, here's what you need to know and what's trending for today. Teresa and Giudice finally breaking their silence during a Watch What Happens Live special that aired on Sunday. It's their first since Joe went to prison in March of 2016. Teresa sat down with Andy Cohen in his New York studio while Joe appeared via satellite from Salerno, Italy, where he moved earlier this month to wait out his deportation ruling. The duo discussed everything from why they didn't ask Donald Trump for a pardon, all the way to Joe saying that he regrets doing Real Housewives. But most of the conversation was focused on the current state of Joe and Teresa's marriage and the cheating rumors that have followed both of them. Watch this.
Joe, were you faithful to Teresa while she was in jail?
I was, actually, yeah.
Teresa, have you been faithful to Joe while he was away?
I don't know. I don't think so.
You don't think she's been faithful, Joe?
No, I don't think so.
Ooh, goodness, being very honest there. Back in February, Teresa was photographed holding hands with a man 20 years younger, but her attorney denied to People that the two were romantically involved. Teresa maintained that she and the man that she was photographed with were just friends, telling Joe, "You were photographed with women also." Gossip about Joe's infidelity had often been brought up on Real Housewives of New Jersey. Joe's denied those allegations. The two were not optimistic about the future of the relationship. Teresa clarified her previous statement that she would divorce Joe if he was forced to live abroad. She says, quote, "I don't see it working," adding that her 4 children would understand. She says, quote, "The way I explained it to them, how are we going to live apart? I don't think that he would be faithful. I think he would have someone there and have me here. I just don't want to live that life. I just don't." That was her statement. Joe rejected the theory that he'd take up a mistress, saying, "It's been 3.5 years. If I wanted to be with somebody, I could be with somebody this week. That's not what I'm looking to do." The two have agreed to not make any decisions about divorce until after they see each other in person when Teresa goes to visit Joe with the kids in Italy. Stay tuned. We're going to have even more from this revealing interview later on in the show. But for now, we move on to this. Ben Affleck was seen arriving at Jennifer Garner's home one day after appearing to be publicly inebriated at an event on Saturday night. A source tells People, quote, "You could tell that it wasn't an easy thing for him, but Ben owned his mistake." In a video obtained by TMZ of Saturday night's event, the UNICEF Masquerade Ball in West Hollywood, that's where it was, Affleck seemed to have trouble walking while leaving his hotel to go to that ball. Photos from the night show the star wearing a dark suit and a Halloween skull mask over his face. In footage obtained by TMZ on Sunday, Affleck said, "It happens, it was a slip, but I'm not going to let it derail me." That was before he entered his ex-wife's home. Hours ahead of the ball, the actor addressed having been in recovery for over a year on social media with a photo of the Midnight Mission. It's an organization in downtown LA that provides basic subsistence to the needy as well as drug and alcohol recovery services, with the caption reading in part, quote, "I've been in recovery for over a year, and part of that is helping out others. The Midnight Mission is an incredible organization that helps those in need with housing, training, development, and recovery. I'm making a donation today because there are people battling addiction every day that don't have the resources and need help." Affleck, who's been in rehab multiple times, entered rehab again in August of 2018. He stayed at the center with only brief breaks to work out at home and attend business meetings until October, when he broke his silence about his treatment in an emotional statement on Instagram. That statement read in part, "This week I completed a 40-day stay at a treatment center for alcohol addiction and remain in outpatient care." Affleck continued saying, "Battling any addiction is a lifelong and difficult struggle. Because of that, one is never really in or out of treatment. It's a full-time commitment. I'm fighting for myself and my family." Now, throughout his sobriety journey, Garner, with whom he shares 3 children, has been by his side. The two finalized their divorce in October of 2018. That's 3 years after they had separated. In a candid interview in March of this year, Affleck told Today co-host Hoda Kotb that he's thankful to have wonderful Garner as a parent. A source told People in August that Ben's relationship with Jen is strong. She's really supportive of Ben. They worked very closely on parenting their kids. Well, we wish them all the best there. Now we move on to this. Monday's episode of Dancing with the Stars. It's going to feature not one, but 2 Halloween-themed group routines. People's got your first look at the cast finding out about the news in an exclusive clip from the ABC dancing competition. The top 8 professional and celebrity dancing pairs get a scare when they learn that they'll be split into 2 groups for the routine. Now, at the time, they're in a mysterious warehouse where a coffin filled with skulls and other spooky things lie. Suddenly, a loud bang sends them all into shock before Judge Lynn Goodman, dressed as a vampire, appears on a television screen to tell them the horrific news.
Hello, victims. I'll be splitting you up into 2 groups, Team Trick or the Team Treat, for a special Halloween team dance. Pick one of the items on the table, and that will decide your fate.
Spooky! If that didn't scare you. Despite the shock, all seemed excited by the challenge. After picking their items, the cast is split into the following teams. Here we go. For the Trick team, we have Dawson's Creek star James Vanderbeek and Emma Slater, country music singer Lauren Elena and Gleb Sevchenko, The Bachelorette star Hannah B. and Alan, Fifth Harmony singer Allie Brooke and Sasha Farber. And then for the Treat team, we have Queer Eye's Karamo Brown and Jenna Johnson, The Office star Kate Flannery and Pasha Pashkov, and former White House press secretary Sean Spicer, Lindsay Arnold, and then actor Kel Mitchell and Whitney Carson. So the teams kind of split there. Kind of cool. I'd like to see how that plays out.
Yeah.
All right, guys, he has done it. Tiger Woods has tied Sam Snead's record for most PGA Tour wins with his 82nd victory at the Zozo Championship in Japan. The 43-year-old won the tournament by 3 strokes despite having arthroscopic surgery on his left knee just 2 months ago. That is his 5th surgery for the same problematic joint. That's according to the AP. After that win, Woods told reporters that it's crazy, it's a lot. Woods celebrated the achievement, tweeting, "It's an honor to be tied with Sam Snead for most wins in PGA Tour history. Thanks, Mom and Pop, and everyone who helped make this possible." And he adds, "To do this in Japan is something I'll never forget. It's been an awesome year." Well, it was the first PGA Tour tournament to be held in Japan, as well as Woods' first tournament since that knee surgery. The professional is no stranger to time on the operating table. According to the Washington Post, by 2008, he'd undergone 4 surgeries on his left knee. He later had 4 more surgeries, this time for his back, and ultimately decided to take a break from the sport for nearly 3 years before, of course, returning in 2018. And when a reporter at a press conference asked Tiger Woods if it was satisfying to keep proving people who criticized him wrong, the golfer replied, "It's satisfying to dig my way out of it and figure it out," adding, "There are some hard times trying to figure it out, but I have come back with different games over the years." Woods also revealed him tying the record was all down to him being consistent over a long period of time. Well, next, captain Team USA in the President's Cup in Australia. Look forward to that. Woods also revealed at the news conference that he's aiming to qualify for next year's Tokyo Olympics, saying, "It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and I've never played for a gold medal before, so it would be an honor to do it." It seems like he could probably be on the Olympic team.
I know, right?
Right? Good candidate for that.
Yeah.
All right, you have more for us in Star Trek.
I do. We are kicking off Star Treks today with a celebration for a soon-to-be matrimony.
We all love you so very much, and thank you. Do you want to say anything?
Well, we paid for all this, so drink up, I guess.
A big cheers to Sarah Hyland and Wells Adams. The couple celebrated their wedding engagement with a party on Saturday, surrounded by loved ones. The special occasion comes 3 months after the pair got engaged while vacationing in Fiji. Stylist Brad Goreski was on hand to share several sweet posts from the bash, including some clips that showed the Modern Family actress thanking their guests for attending, while Wells cracked some jokes about drinks. Sarah looked gorgeous in a strapless white gown, while Wells looked pretty dapper in a white button-down shirt and a pair of light-colored pants. Goreski also documented the event's decor decor, which included white napkins with the couple's names on them in gold, as well as, quote, the cutest cookies ever. The treats showed Wells getting down on one knee, while another proclaimed Sarah as the future Mrs. Adams. Very adorable. Sarah's Modern Family co-star Jesse Tyler Ferguson was also there to celebrate, and the actor shared a photo of himself with the woman of the hour, looking very happy there. The engagement party came just over a week after the couple celebrated their 2-year anniversary. Sarah shared a photo on Instagram in honor of the milestone, writing in part, 2 years ago, I asked when you're going to ask me to be your girlfriend. This summer, you asked me to be your wife. If 2 years feels like a lifetime, then I can't wait to spend eternity with you. Wells shared a photo and a sweet message as well, writing, I knew I was going to marry her the first night I met her. You're my person, and I can't wait to drop this day as our anniversary and make a new one with all of our friends watching while they judge our wedding and eat and drink for free. It's really funny. While the couple hasn't made any big announcement about their wedding just yet, Sarah previously told us that she began planning the second that Wells slipped the ring on her finger, saying, where we were staying in Fiji didn't have a lot of Wi-Fi. So later that night, I started having a panic attack, like I need Pinterest to look at wedding stuff. Wells recently stopped by the studio. He is just as excited for the wedding as she is, but he told us there is one other thing he's looking forward to more. Watch.
I like to throw parties and everything, so to think about having a wedding and inviting all these people seems really fun and enticing to me. But I'm just excited to spend the rest of my life with her, you know? Mm-hmm. So as fun as a wedding and a honeymoon is, I think I'm more excited about just the future in general.
Such a sweet couple. Congrats to the happy couple. All right, Jennifer Aniston and Ellen DeGeneres locking lips. How did this happen? Whoa. Okay, so remember when Howard Stern and Ellen shared that unforgettable kiss just a few weeks ago? If you forgot, here's a reminder.
Here we go. Hold it.
So that was then. Now the hilarious talk show host, upping the ante, planted a friendly smooch on her close friend Jennifer Aniston. So take a look at this.
When's the last time you kissed a girl on the lips? I don't kiss girls on the lips. No.
There you go, just a friendly kiss. Oh. Yeah.
This is our new Brittany Madonna.
Yeah, I think so. Now, Aniston was on Ellen promoting her new Apple TV series, The Morning Show. She also discussed her decision to finally join Instagram, surprising millions of fans and followers. And Ellen noted that Aniston had actually added a Guinness World Record to her list of accolades. The fastest time to reach 1 million followers, 5 hours and 16 minutes. Now that's a record that deserves a kiss. Heyo. All right. I don't know. Moving on to this. We still can't forget Kylie Jenner's custom Versace look at this year's Met Gala. It was stunning. And neither will her adorable baby daughter, Stormi. Look at this. The 20-month-old mini Kylie rocked the cutest Halloween costume, dressing up as her mom. She looks not the happiest there. I think she's confused what's going on. Kylie captioned the post, my baby, I can't handle this.
Oh, there she is.
There she is. There she's smiling. As you can imagine, these pictures caused quite the stir with Kylie's 149.5 million followers. Sophia Richie wrote in the comments, OMG, I can't deal, adding a heart eye emoji, while Corey Gamble wrote, she the real boss, and the designer of the original dress approved, Donatella Versace herself commenting, so cute. Now, Stormi isn't even 2 years old yet. She's already breaking the internet. Like mother, like daughter. And those are your Star Tracks for today. I love that.
Super.
She nailed it.
Yeah, absolutely nailed it. All right, stay with us. More of Teresa and Joe's bombshell interview revelations when they sit down with Watch What Happens live host Andy Cohen. Will they stay together? Plus, Ryan Seacrest and his ex, Shayna Taylor, spotted holding hands. Could this mean reunion? We'll find out. Stick around.
All right, in honor of National Chocolate Day, we've been asking you what kind of chocolate you prefer in our People poll. I think it's gonna be milk chocolate. That's my guess, but we'll see. Looks like milk chocolate.
Wow, by far.
Yeah.
White chocolate needs some love.
It's not that common. I don't know. How often do you run into white chocolate?
No, that's true. Maybe it's availability is the issue, or if it's sprinkled with the peppermint, during the holidays. That's what I'll really go for.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. I'm getting, my mouth is watering over that
I
video.
could go over some chocolate.
Keep voting on that poll, but for now we move on to this. It's mint to be.
Nice.
It's almost like I knew this story was coming. Snack Maker Hostess is coming out with a mint-themed Twinkie just in time for the holidays. The Lamented edition treats hosts chocolate sponge cake with a creamy mint filling. What do you think?
I mean, if you're into mint and if you're into Twinkies, I think this is your jam.
All right, I love mint Oreos and mint chocolate chip. So I think that I would probably like it.
I mean, it looks good. We've seen Hostess come out with other Twinkie flavors in the past. There's some pretty popular and fun flavors, so let's see if you'd have any of these.
All right, this one's pretty basic. Pumpkin spice. Hit shelves in September. Golden sponge cakes, pumpkin spice creamy filling, yay or nay?
I like it for fall.
For fall.
Yeah, why not?
It's got a short life.
All right, next one is Moonberry. So this one was available in the summer of 2017. The cream was Moonberry flavor, which is like a fruity flavor, kind of like berries. And the sponge cake was dark blue, like the night sky.
Yay
It's
or
a
nay?
pretty, nay.
Yeah, probably not. This one's pretty normal. Chocolate peanut butter. It was available in June 2017. I'd say yay for this.
As long as it's crunchy peanut butter.
Okay.
That'd be kind of weird. All right, the next one is very carnival themed. How about cotton candy? This was available in May of 2017.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No way. Another Twinkie flavor that will bring you back to the carnival were the deep fried Twinkies. The flavor was available in 2016. Graham cracker battered sponge cake with creamy filling. You had to store them in the freezer, then prepare them in the oven or toaster oven. I think
much work.
No, I think yay for me. I just want to see what it's like.
That one sounds like the best flavor, but I don't like that there's this whole process.
Like a fake deep fry?
Yeah. And then you have the Alien Area 51 inspired one. It's actually not real though. Hostess Instagram page, they post fake flavor sometimes.
Sneaky.
Wow.
What flavor would that one? I don't know. That one I think should be mint.
Or like key lime pie.
Key lime pie.
Well, Hostess actually did come out with a limited time offer of Ghostbusters Twinkies that were key lime pie flavor. That was in June of 2016.
Makes sense. I would try all of them once. Let's just say that.
Yeah. Are you a big mint fan?
No, I am. To me, the thin mint, Oreo mint, like I was saying, anything mint, I'll do.
Yeah.
So I think that would probably be my favorite of the wild, zany flavors.
So you'd go for it?
I would go for it. What would you go for?
I mean, I'm not writing home about mint. No.
What are you writing home about?
I don't know. The chocolate that we were talking about in the poll.
All right.
Anyway, if you're not ready for mint holiday Twinkies yet, Hostess does have its Halloween-themed scary cakes and glow balls currently available for a limited time. The glow balls are chocolate cake Twinkies with orange-colored filling to play on Hostess's classic snowballs, plus the chocolate cake Twinkies with scream filling. Yum.
All right. From desserts to this. Teresa and Giudice finally broke their silence during a Watch What Happens Live special that aired on Sunday, their first since Joe went to prison in March 2016. Here are some of the biggest bombshells from that revealing interview.
So immigration officers took selfies with Joe after he was released. So as he was being taken back to Italy, the ICE officers were taking selfies with Joe, then asking him for recommendations for what they should do while visiting the country. That's kind of wild. Joe reveals he was not handcuffed during the whole process. He says, quote, "They wanted to handcuff me. I was like, listen, I'm not getting in no handcuffs. They're like, will you behave? It's like, what the hell am I gonna do? If I wanted to leave, I would just kick your butts and leave. I ain't gonna do that. I wanna go on the plane. I wanna get the hell out of here." So that was his quote.
Interesting. Joe also explained why he ultimately asked to be released to Italy rather than wage his appeal home in the United States. He says, quote, "Sitting in immigration was a waste of time." Even compared it to having your head in a panini press.
Okay.
While Joe was in federal prison, he completed his high school diploma and started working on a sport picking business. He called ICE, quote, "a terrible facility," saying that he was locked in a small cell with 8 people for 5 months and was once put in solitary confinement for opening a window in the gym.
Now, although the reality stars are friendly with Trump from Teresa's time on Celebrity Apprentice, they confirmed they did not ask him for help. So Joe says, quote, "He has so much on his plate, that guy. Even if he would maybe try to do something, I don't know if he would get criticized. I don't know what they would do to him." And Teresa added, quote, "With the whole immigration thing that's going on that he's fighting for, I would never do that to the president," saying that it would be putting him in a bad position. And she admitted, she said, "I would love to be pardoned," noting that she cannot vote as an ex-con.
Joe revealed that he regrets not becoming a U.S. citizen. He says, quote, "My mistake was I never became a citizen. That was stupid of me. But when you're raised here as a kid, you go to school here, you do everything here, it's not a big deal, especially when you're not a criminal. All I did was bust my ass my whole life, and believe me, I was a hard worker. I broke the law, but when you come in illegally and break the law, it's worse. These people have more rights than the people who come in legally." That was his quote.
Yeah, now despite all that's happened to her family since joining the Bravo franchise, Teresa said she looks back on her time on television without any regrets. But Joe implied the reality TV spotlight is what landed him in prison. Take a look at this.
Do you regret it, Joe?
I mean, she got her wish, which is good.
Joe, do you?
Yeah, I tell you the truth, I wish I never would have done it. Yeah, I wish I never would have done it. I had a great life before. You know, the show actually just brought a lot of attention to us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it did.
Just having a house like that alone just brings a lot of attention. I've never had so many damn lawsuits in my life till after I got on that show.
Wow, and Joe went on to say, now there's only one thing to do, make things better and move on.
You can keep up with their journey on Real Housewives of New Jersey this season. Check it out.
Yeah, a lot going on there. All right, Ryan Seacrest and Shayna Taylor enjoyed a day out in New York City over the weekend after recently reuniting. On Saturday, the two took a stroll in Manhattan's West Village before going shopping in Soho. Later, the two took a long romantic walk to the West Village, holding hands, were spotted at a restaurant. So a lot of people talking about this, getting back together.
Well, you don't see Seacrest out all that much, so when he is, it's kind of, people pay attention. The couple reunited in September. It made their first public appearance after getting back together when they hit the red carpet at the New York City Ballet Fall Fashion Gala. The two were all smiles as they walked the red carpet and posed for photos together before heading inside. Now, Seacrest hinted the two were back together in September when, while hosting Live with Kelly and Ryan, he confirmed that he would be bringing Taylor to his family's Thanksgiving celebrations this year.
Yeah, now people exclusively confirmed in February that Seacrest, who's 44, and Taylor, who's 27, had called it quits, with a source calling it an amicable split. At the time, a source close to Taylor told People that after 3 years together, the two weren't quite on the same page about the timeline of their future.
Well, I'm sure that, she would frequently do segments on Kelly and Ryan as well. We'll kind of be on the lookout for that, but we wish them the best.
Centuries from now, almost all humans have lost the ability to see. Some say sight was taken from them by God to heal the earth. For the few who remain, vision is only a myth. But after so many years, the power of sight has returned.
What is it? Something's different. The children, they have the ability to see.
See is one of the first shows that will drop when Apple TV Plus launches on November 1st. The dystopian drama stars Jason Momoa and Alfre Woodard and is directed by Francis Lawrence, the same man who directed the final 3 Hunger Games films. Now, Francis told us what went into building a world where most of the characters are visually impaired or blind.
The idea of blindness in the show was a guiding principle in pretty much every single choice we made, whether that's stunts, props, costumes, hair, makeup, set design, all of these things, that was the guiding principle. So in doing a big battle sequence, there's a lot of brainstorming, and consulting with our blind consultant, Jodis Regret, our stunt team and the props, and everybody sort of coming up with the ideas of what these fights could be like, what the fighting styles would be like, how you would approach, how quiet you'd be, how loud you'd be, what do you use for distractions. There's a big canvas of ideas that we would go through before even choreographing. Honestly, there's a fight near the end of episode 3, and when Jason and I met, he actually sort of stood up and started kind of brainstorming a possible fight sequence for his character that ended up being the sort of guiding principle for the fight sequence there. So he wasn't saying use this for 3, but he had these ideas that ended up working perfectly for something that we did in episode 3. So it was a great collaboration.
One of the executive producers of the series, Dan Schatz, said that Alfre Woodard became a mother bear for the cast, so he asked Jason if he agreed with that.
Absolutely. On and off, made her characters much like that on the show, but then she's amazing.
You want a snack?
There's not
more. You want a snack?
She always.
Jason, you said about that making this show that, Alfre, she improved you as a human. Can you talk about that? How so?
I mean, I think this whole show in general has done that, but Alfre has definitely been at the helm of that because she's definitely brings the most gravitas, the most history, she's up for the Oscar.
I am not, Momoa.
You are.
Stop saying that.
Well, but just in all my heavy scenes, all my heavy scenes are really with her, and so I've never been able to go to these places before. So it makes it really easy when you work with talent that's that high. You have to kind of come to that level. I haven't had that many. It's just now in my career I'm getting to work with talent like this. So
You have an openness that people can't train for and they can't buy. And you're already there.
Hey, I love those two together.
Oh, yeah.
Jason Momoa brought up the possibility of Alfre Woodard getting an Oscar. There's buzz for her role in Clemency, which comes out in December, won the Dramatic Grand Jury Prize at Sundance earlier this year. We asked Alfre how she feels about early Oscar buzz, given that the film hasn't come out to the public yet. Watch.
I love it when it's like your homies and they say stuff like, yeah, you gotta get, it's like, you know, your homie's supposed to say like that. But, you know, the truth is, it's the same as if you're saying, Alfie's gonna get on on Elon Musk's ship to the wherever. It's like, yeah. Just like, all right, we'll get on the ship.
She just doesn't want to take it's amazing. And good, let it, because it's going to bring more attention to small films, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, great. That's
Good
the whole
idea.
thing you were saying.
But you know what? It occurred to me, you're too young to remember this. Back in the 50s and early 60s, they had what they called baby contests. I was in a lot of baby contests, everybody's baby. And as soon as the baby could sit up in the baby contest, it would be about 30 people, 30 babies. Anywhere from like 8 months old to 2 years old. And then there would be a group of people and they would judge the babies. That's what awards judging is like. Are we really gonna decide which of these babies is the cutest? It is just absurd, but it makes me laugh, you know, the baby contest.
Yeah, you gonna win.
They are really fun together. Another of Alfre's recent roles was voicing Sarabi in this year's version of The Lion King. Now, Jason posted on Instagram that he saw the movie with his family, even cried numerous times. So we spoke to the two about that experience. Take a look.
You know, it was my kid's birthday. To be able to be at that level where I can ask a studio and go like, can you please let me take my kids to this before it comes out, because I can't go into a theater and it's not gonna be able to put, my kids are sitting here right off camera and they're stoked to see Lion King, and then she's playing one of the characters in it. It's amazing, so.
You know what was so cool about Lion King? Because I started taking my kids to every iteration of it, you know, from the time they were little, is that it's a story that allows us to have a conversation with our young that is really about life and the circle of life. And it gave us a new language then to really be frank. And it's touching to know that you were with your son and your daughter.
Yeah.
Because that's a moment in life that we didn't have when you're trying to describe where grandma went and, you know, Big Daddy went, you know, so.
Right. Beautiful.
All right, so Jason Momoa is, of course, married to Lisa Bonet, and his stepdaughter is Zoë Kravitz, who was recently cast as Catwoman opposite Robert Pattinson in DC's upcoming The Batman. Did you follow all that? Well, we asked Jason what advice he would give his stepdaughter Zoë, seeing that as Aquaman, he is a DC comic star himself.
I can't give her any advice. I mean, she's gonna be great at the action. I'm really excited for her to just to train and learn all that, because she's perfect for it. It's perfect casting. And Warner Bros. And DC have been amazing to me and supported my family, and I'm excited to see this movie. Get to work.
Well, speaking of huge franchise films, C's director Francis Lawrence also directed 3 of the 4 Hunger Games films. So we asked him how building the world of C compared to that of Hunger Games.
Very different. I mean, there's some similar principles when you're thinking of things. When you're thinking about like making a new world, you have to think about society and the culture and all the details. So you want to do that. But I'd say weirdly, it's closer to doing something like I Am Legend than it is to doing the Hunger Games.
How so?
Well, just because they're both worlds post civilization. And so there's a huge part of the idea of nature kind of reclaiming the earth that both stories share.
Yeah, so speaking of the Hunger Games, there's a prequel book coming out.
Yes.
Have you been in talks with that? I mean, you directed the last few films. Like, I know Lionsgate said they want to do a film.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely been talking to Suzanne about it and to Lionsgate about it. And so, you know, it's something that I would absolutely love to do.
There you go, you heard it there. A Hunger Games prequel film could happen with Francis Lawrence attached, but would he do a sequel to his more recent Jennifer Lawrence action flick, Red Sparrow?
I don't think that's gonna happen. Yeah. It didn't quite get the response that, the response that I was hoping that it would get. So I think that, yeah, that's probably off the table.
All right, everyone, make sure to watch Francis Lawrence, Jason Momoa, and Alfre Woodard's current project, C, when it premieres on November 1st, when Apple TV Plus launches.
Poppy won season 16 of American Idol last year, and now her new album, Whirlwind, is out. She's currently on tour with Ingrid Michaelson for the dramatic tour. Maddy, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Also, I love it because Midwest girls from Iowa, Wisconsin represent. Your album, Whirlwind, is out. I imagine it's based on your life. This last year must have been such a whirlwind, right?
Exactly, and whenever I got interviewed, they would say, man, I bet your life has been such a whirlwind. So I was like, I gotta call it out, right? So,
yeah.
And it was all over the place. I experimented with different sounds, and I kind of want to just call out the obvious that, like, I know that this album is inconsistent, so I thought I'd name it. Sometimes I'm like, maybe I should have named it like Tsunami or something a little harder.
What do you think is the biggest difference, like day to day? What's the biggest change?
Oh, not seeing my family every day, like not being able to talk to my family, you know? You probably get that, because you're probably, you know, Midwest is like super.
It's hard, yeah.
Yeah.
Your music's really great, though. I love this album. Let's take a quick look at the music video for your single, Made You Miss. Yeah, speaking of Whirlwind, you recorded the song very quickly, right? What's the story here?
Yeah, so we did. We recorded this. It was the last day of like my writing sessions in LA. And we had one day to like write a whole song and stuff. And I figured we wouldn't really get anything because we had to record it and everything. It had to be turned in like the next day. But I walked in and I was thinking, oh, maybe we can write something on piano or something cool. And he said, hey, why don't we try, he was talking to this other guy, he said, why don't we try that Made You Miss song with her, you know, because they hadn't had anybody cut it yet, but they had it sitting around kind of just waiting. And at first I was like, oh, this is like super, it wasn't, I know it doesn't sound acoustic, but there wasn't any guitar in it at the time. It was like very hard rock sounding. So I was kind of scared at first because I was like, this isn't really me, but I'll try it.
Yeah.
And I tried it, and actually, he said, why don't we make it a little more you? I'll add an acoustic guitar, just as a placeholder right now. He said, I'll record it on my iPhone. So he recorded it into the iPhone really quick, plugged it into the computer, put it up on there. And then I ended up texting him after the song came out, and I said, did you use the same guitar on the iPhone, or did you do a new guitar? He said, no, the guitar that's, you know, that you hear at the very beginning of the song is from an iPhone.
Wow.
Yeah.
Recorded on an iPhone and then just plugged in.
Yeah, and they have like one of the coolest studios, most elaborate studios in like LA.
Yeah.
And
you would never know though, that's the thing.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, and they use an iPhone.
Wow, it's awesome. You told us before the show your new single, Not Losing You, is one of your favorites on the album. So let's take a quick listen to the acoustic version of that.
Will you love me the same?
So this is beautiful. I would guess we know who this is about, right? So who's it about? Why is it so special?
It is about my boyfriend. And I wrote this the day after we had kind of had a conversation the night before just about how tough it is. We're both musicians. It's hard. Oh, look at that picture of us. No, but it's just hard, you know, being in a long distance relationship, trying to pursue the same career. It's hard because, you know, sometimes like something great will be happening for him and I'll be in the middle of like this huge, you know, I'll be like having a meltdown, you know? You know, so it's very all over the place, and I just wanted to write a song just kind of saying, you know, I know that it's hard and sometimes the music industry like can suck. It's not easy all the time, but at least we'll have each other at the end of the day.
Well, I've done long distance and it's so tough because you just want to be with that person.
Yeah.
You posted a picture of you two on Instagram and the caption was, a monthly update, we are still in fact together. Do your fans always just think you split or what's going on?
You know what? We will post a picture together and then the very next day they'll be like, they broke up. Or they'll be like, they're secretly married. Or they'll be like, she's having a baby. It's all over the place. So yeah, I just like to joke around about it because everyone's constantly, you know, that's always the question. And I'm like, man, if we did break up, it would be so hard.
People wouldn't believe you.
First of all, my whole album's about him. But secondly, just it'd be tough to have to tell everyone.
Yeah.
And then explain the story of what, you know, because you feel like you'd owe people that.
Yeah, you've joked on Instagram about like moving in together, getting a house together, about kids. Is he the one?
I don't think so. I'm kidding.
He like watches this and then it is actually over.
He's backstage right now, actually. Yes, I think I mean, you know, we've not been together very long, but he's my best friend.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, we were friends before we dated. And I think that's what's so awesome about it is, you know, we weren't really even looking to date each other. We were just best friends who were hanging out. And then we're like, hey, we get along pretty good. This might work out.
So you talked about before your long distance. You're in Iowa, he's in Nashville. So what does the future look like for you two?
I need to spread my wings and fly out of Iowa. That's what I need to do. But, you know, just because it's hard to imagine a music career in Iowa, you know? I'm sure for you too, you know, growing up in Wisconsin, it's hard to like pursue a big dream like that when you're not near a big city. So I need to get out. Is
that happening soon for you?
I don't know. I've been thinking about it a lot lately, but it's gonna be really hard for me to be away from my family.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to do.
Well, you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I'm sure you will. Going back to when you won American Idol, it was revealed on the live finale that you and Caleb were dating. It was this huge moment. Did you guys keep it secret for so long because you didn't want it to affect the competition?
I didn't have a problem with it coming out because I kind of, you know, when a guy's on TV, everyone goes bananas and they're like, he's so cute.
Yeah.
I love him so much. So I was like, I kind of want to claim him. I kind of want to tell everyone we're dating.
Yeah.
But he was like, no, I don't want people to vote for me because we're together. I don't want people to vote for you because we're, you know, I don't want it to affect our relationship, or, you know, I don't want it to affect the show. So he kind of wanted to wait, and then the end of the season, the day of the finale, the executive producer comes up to us and she's like, hey, Ryan found out about your relationship. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm sure Ryan just found out, you know, from his celebrity friends. But he found out about your relationship. Are you guys okay? If you are the top 2 tonight, there were 3 people left at this point. She said, if you guys are the top 2 tonight, are you okay with him revealing this? And I was like, Caleb, I think we're the top 2.
Wow.
And he's like, no, don't get your hopes up. I was like, I don't know why else she would say that.
Yeah.
So I was prepared before it happened, at least.
Yeah, and then obviously people ask you all the time, but now that you've had like a year to kind of look back, if he would have won and you'd have been runner-up, how do you think you'd have handled that?
Everyone always asks that.
It's because it's hard. If you're a competitive person, especially if you're dating that person.
Girls are just more, I don't know, do we get jealous more than guys? I feel like I would be jealous.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I hate saying that, but I think I would be jealous. I think, I don't know. Also, there's a lot of stuff that I've had to do that's kind of on the corny, cheesy side. You know, like put on the Mickey ears and be like, oh, I'll tell you about the magic of Disney, you know? And I just don't know if, I love him, but I'm just thinking, I don't know if some of that corny stuff he would have done.
Yeah, good thing that you won.
Yeah.
You don't even have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this. You're on tour with Ingrid Michaelson, the dramatic tour. You've talked about before that you're a big fan of hers. So has it been a really surreal experience?
It has been so cool. It's like my dream tour. I can't believe this is the first actual like tour that I get to go on with a major artist. I've looked up to her. She introduced me to my whole genre of music, like everything I'm interested in. She was also kind of my gateway to discovering all kinds of other artists. Like I didn't know Brandi Carlile before I knew Ingrid. I didn't know Sarah Bareilles before I knew Ingrid. And so yeah, I just remember, you know, I found her when I was probably 13 or 14 and then was like, this is what I want to do. Because I had kind of gone back and forth between, oh, I want to be country. Oh, I want to be soft rock. And then I found Ingrid and I was like, this is what I want.
As such a big fan, has there been a moment where maybe you embarrassed yourself by fangirling a little too hard?
Every day. Every day I am so awkward around her. I never, you know, imagine your hero, you know, and just being around them every day. I never want to say the wrong thing, but I'm so awkward, so much that she actually came up to me the other day and she's like, hey, I got you a gift. And I was like, oh, that's so sweet. And I'm like, be cool, Maddy. And she gives me this notebook, this journal, and it says on the front, I came, I saw, I made it awkward.
No.
And she goes, it just reminded me of you. And I thought it was so funny. I was like, yep, okay, yep.
At least she's acknowledging
At least
it.
she knows too.
That's amazing.
It was
it's
pretty
so
funny.
cute. All right, before you go, we're gonna play a little game called Poppy Culture.
Ooh.
Get it? All right, it's easy. We're gonna ask you a question about pop culture today or pop culture growing up. You give us your quick takes. All right, first up, what's your favorite boy band of all time? It's tough.
Oh my gosh, this is tough. Oh, I'm not gonna have a good answer. I don't know. Probably like Jonas Brothers.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, that's a great answer. And they're back better than ever.
Smart move.
Yeah,
right.
smart move. All right. What's the one song you could listen to over and over again?
It's called You Won't Let Me by Rachel Yamagata.
Nice. And the celebrity you'd want to be best friends with?
Steve Carell.
Ooh.
I love him so much, and I want to meet him so bad. And hopefully
Putting it
someday.
out into the universe, it's gonna happen. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, congrats on everything.
Thank you so
Everyone,
much.
make sure to get her album Whirlwind. It's available now, and check her out this fall on the dramatic tour with Ingrid Michaelson.
October is such a great time of the year. Fall is in the air. You're getting those pumpkin spice lattes, sweater weather, all the good stuff. It's also a month where we get decked out in our spookiest attire for some trick-or-treating in honor of Halloween. But more importantly, it's Adopt a Shelter Dog Month. So in honor of the spooky occasion and shelter pups everywhere, we are joined now with 3 adoptable dogs from Best Friends Animal Society. Oh, look at this. Silver, the queen, Her Royal Highness, who is eating all this stuff out of my hands. Alongside New York's Adoption Center's Public Relations Manager, Hannah Stember. Thank you so much for being here.
No
It's
problem.
great to talk to you.
Thanks for bringing these pups.
So who do we have with us today?
So right here, I've got Bodhi, and she is modeling as a popcorn, a bucket of popcorn
Cute.
today. And you've got Bazooka, who is Black Panther.
Ooh, fierce.
Losing the crown here. And then Silver, the
Silver
queen.
is the queen, of course.
Yes. Ooh, goodness, these
For
costumes.
you personally, why is it so fun to include pets in Halloween fun?
Well, I'm at work right now, so that's pretty fun. But you know, pets are family members, so just like you want your kids to dress up, we want our pets to dress up too. So, you know, it's so much fun to take them out trick-or-treating, see all the little outfits. We heard there's a shortage this week. Stores nearby are sold out, so make sure you get them early. But yeah, no, it's so fun to dress them
One
up.
important thing, obviously, is to keep the dogs out of the candy, but you can do like the pet treats and things for Halloween and kind of get into the spirit that way.
They love homemade dog treats. I mean, pumpkin treats, peanut butter, all that. So, you know, obviously keep them away from candy. If there's an accident, somebody gets into a big bowl and you're suspect that they got into candy, call your vet immediately.
Yeah, okay.
Good tip.
October is Adopt a Shelter Dog Month, so for those that don't know what that is, explain that to us and its significance.
Yeah, I mean, adoption of shelter pets and dogs especially is so important. 733 pets are killed annually in shelters across the country.
Not laughing about that.
I know.
I'm laughing about these pups going crazy.
They're having a great time.
Yeah.
So that's about 2,000 dogs and cats every single day that are killed in shelters, just because there are too many pets without homes. So adoption is so important to help these animals find homes. I mean, 733,000 pets without homes, like that's not a big gap, right? There's plenty of people in the U.S. We can solve this problem very easily.
Yeah. Let's talk about this. Recently, Real Sports with Bryant Gumbel on HBO shined a light on the amazing work that Best Friends Animal Society has done for the dogs, sort of that were part of that whole scandal with Michael Vick.
The victory dogs.
The
as we
victory
call
dogs.
them,
Okay.
yes.
There are still some dogs in the sanctuary there. Tell us some about that and where the progress is.
Yeah, so we took in a bunch of dogs from the dog fighting ring and we rehabilitated many of them. A lot of them went on to live completely normal lives. They lived with children, elderly people in homes across the country, you know, totally rehabbed. And, you know, those that still, you know, were scared or had some behavioral stuff from it, they still live at our sanctuary. Some of them have passed, unfortunately. It's been over 10 years now, but, you know, those that are still alive are living out their days in our sanctuary. We've got this beautiful sanctuary in southern Utah where they live out their days. They've always got a safe place to call home.
Meanwhile, the most playful pups in the world are just loving life right now.
My pup is very relaxed.
This pup is chilling.
Presence.
And these two are just loving life.
What special initiatives does Best Friends Animal Society do in October?
Yeah, we've got our annual Strut Your Mutt fundraiser. That's our dog walk fundraiser
what's it called?
festival, Strut Your Mutt.
Fun, that's a
so
great
that
title.
takes place in cities across the country. It's also online, so wherever you are, you can join in. But basically, it's a fundraiser for local shelters and rescue groups to make money to support their life-saving programs and help shelter pets across the country.
All right, Best Friends Animal Society has a no-kill goal for 2015 or 2025. Excuse me. What's the goal here?
So again,
and are you on course?
We are on course. We're making progress. I mean, back in '84, 17 million pets were killed annually, and now, like I said, we're down to 733,000. So that's a huge accomplishment, but it's still too many, right? So we want that number down to 0. The only way we're going to do it is by working together. You know, all the shelters, all the communities across the country. This is a community-wide problem. It's not your shelter's problem. You know, it's the community's problem. So we all have to band together, work together, and help them, support them, adopt, foster, you fundraise, volunteer, get these guys their homes.
Thank you for everything that you're doing. I personally am very relaxed right now. So.
I am doing my best. Thank you so much for being here. And guys, go out, enjoy your Halloween. That's it. Go adopt a dog, everybody. Coming up tomorrow, we're joined live by Chantel Van Santen, who stars in Apple TV Plus's new sci-fi miniseries For All Mankind.
Plus, New Amsterdam star Janet Montgomery chats with us about life as a new mom. Thanks for for watching, everyone. For now, we leave you with one last thing from Matthew Modine. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Hi, I'm Matthew Modine, and this is One Last Thing. The last song stuck in my head was 1905 by a wonderful young female artist named Ruby Modine. The last time I was starstruck was when I had dinner with David Bowie and his beautiful wife, Iman. The last vacation I took was in Positano, Italy. It's one of the most beautiful places on the planet.